Ever wondered if your advertising dollar is really working for you? If your ad would have been here, you and more than 4 million people would be listening to it right now. Contact ads at xzoneradiotv.com.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
It's
in a world where shadows dance and dreams take flight through the veil of reality into the night, Rob McConnell leads the way, a beacon so bright. With over 35 years, he ignites the light. A voice from the north where whispers are bold, stories untold in the echoes of old. Fact meets fiction in this realm of delight, in the X Zone where dark turns to bright. Welcome to the X Zone, believe and be free, a sanctuary for truth that dare to be seen, where the line between realms gently blurs, in a symphony of voices the mind stirs, with Rob McConnell stories unfold, tales of the unknown that shimmer like gold.
And welcome to the X Zone, everyone. I am Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center right here in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, and around the world on the CanCom Broadcast Network. If you'd like to send me an email, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, on all social media sites, Xzone Radio TV. And we come to you Monday through Friday, starting at 10 o'clock at night. Some affiliates we go till midnight. Some affiliates we go till 1 o'clock in the morning. And we're streamed right here on the CanCon Broadcast Network by our good friends at Classic 1220 CFAJ in St. Catharines at classic1220.ca. My guest this hour, X-Zone Nation, is Nicole Strickland. She is an afterlife and paranormal research best-selling author, award-winning podcaster, speaker, and cat lover. And she is one of the leading paranormal researchers on the West Coast. Nicole Strickland is the founder and director of the well-respected San Diego Paranormal Research Society. For 10 years, she co-hosted the Spirits of the Adobe tours at the iconic Rancho Buena Vista Adobe. She serves as the California coordinator for the Ghost Research Society, and is also a consultant to various other investigative groups, including the American Spectral Society. She has written a number of books, including The Haunted Queen of the Seas, The Living Legend of the RMS Queen Mary, which is a bestseller. Let me see. Spirits of Rancho Buena Vista Adobe, The Afterlife Chronicles, and Women on the Fringe, Groundbreaking Women in the Paranormal, which is co-authored with Denise A. Agnew and Marie D. Jones. Nicole is known internationally for her research on the RMS Queen Mary in Long Beach, California. In addition to offering several speaking topics, she gives presentations on all aspects of the paranormal. Joining me now is my good friend, Nicole Strickland. And Nicole, always glad to have you here in the X Zone. How have you been?
Thank you for having me, Rob. It's always a pleasure. I've been good. Busy, as we all are.
Yeah.
Glad to be on tonight.
Well, we're super happy to have you with us. You are one of the guests that our listeners want back more and more and more. So thank you for being there for us.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
Oh, my God.
I am serious.
Okay.
No?
Well, that's good.
I'm a very serious person. I never joke around.
Yeah, I bet.
I may joke a square, but never around.
Oh, I tend to be serious too, but I do get kind of silly once in a while. Like right now, I'm kind of in that mood, but I will tame it.
Well, you don't have to.
Tame it down.
You know me. How long have we known each other? What, nearly 10 years?
What? I was trying to think when the first time. Yeah, it's been about that long, I think.
Did I have white hair back then?
Yeah, but you look good in it.
Oh,
I mean, it like suits people.
Oh,
right?
I'm blushing.
I'm getting some white. Okay. Oh my gosh. People are listening like, oh my God, Nicole, shut up. Okay.
No, they're
Anyways.
not saying that. They're saying, for God's sake, Rob, shut up and let Nicole talk.
No.
Paranormal is a very close topic to you and I, but in today's world, the paranormal is being pushed aside by stupidity and war. And
I know.
yeah, I was talking to somebody early today, and we were talking about the news headlines, and of course Donald Trump and his stupidity is leading the news all over the place. And you noticed nobody's talking about the Epstein files anymore.
Yeah,
And
I know. And it's interesting because and we all watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of those like cop Axon camera videos and stuff. And it's interesting, like almost in every video, there's someone in the comments that asks about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And something that I find really bad is that it seems like everybody forgot about Nancy Guthrie.
Yeah. I know.
You know, and I've seen Savannah on and off camera, and it's really been hard on her family.
Oh yeah.
And,
gosh, I know. I can't even imagine going through that.
And I put out a call to all the psychic mediums that we've had on the show over 35 years. And I said, can you help us find Nancy Guthrie? No one replied.
Really?
I guess because if they did reply and they gave an answer like, yes, she is here, no, she's not here, you know, it would kind of cement their ability in cement. You know, it's like, come on, guys, aren't we all part of the solution instead of the problem, you know?
That is so true, right? I mean, it's like right in front of us all.
Yeah.
You know, and it's interesting, too, because we have the astronauts on, I never know if it's Artemis or Artemis. I think it's Artemis, too.
Yeah.
You know, and their beautiful mission going up there, you know, doing the flyby around the moon. And they've shared some amazing photographs.
Oh, I know. I downloaded a whole bunch of them.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. And there's one, well, there's many, but the one that I saw was, you know, it was showing Earth from such a vast distance. And I'm sitting there looking at planet Earth and how beautiful it is in that photo. And then I think, gosh, and all the stupidity and all the craziness going on in the planet by us humans, it's just, it really baffles me. But
Jake Tapper was talking to William Shatner when he was doing a feature on the Artemis 2 mission. And we Canadians are really proud we have astronaut Hansen up there. And
right.
Yeah. And of course, William Shatner's from Canada as well.
Right. Oh, that's true.
Yep. Yeah. And Bill was saying that he went up into space and came back down and looking at the Earth and coming back down, he was so depressed. Because of what we're doing to this beautiful planet of ours.
I know.
It's a shame, and I wish that more people would try to do something positive. You know, believe it or not, as little as separating your garbage and if, you know, just trying to be a better person, smile at people, open the door.
Oh, I know.
There's so much that can be done. And yet, nobody wants to do a lot. But
it's crazy, and I don't want to be on a Debbie Downer about social media because it does have its place. But I think it's one of the common denominators as to what is causing a lot of people to just go crazy.
Yeah,
it's just, you know, it's so sad.
And then you've got a lot of negativity going on about artificial intelligence.
I know.
And I'll tell you something. Excuse me. Artificial intelligence makes my job a lot easier.
Exactly. Yeah, there's benefits
easier
to it. Yeah, absolutely.
And then there were several articles about the the young lady who took, what was it, Meta to court because of mental issues caused by being addicted to the internet. And I wrote an article saying, well, why don't we put the blame where it really belongs? And that's on the parents who allow their kids to go on the internet for so many hours.
That's it.
Instead of, going outside and playing or, like what's going on? Is mom and dad too involved in their own little iPhone episodes that the internet has turned into an electronic babysitter for many people?
That is, yeah. Oh, and they're seeing that a lot in the schools now too.
Oh, here in Canada,
crazy.
You're not allowed to use your iPhone in school.
See, yeah. And just in the schools here, I don't know private versus charter and public, but you do hear they all have their phones. So I don't know if if I were a teacher, and many teachers probably do this. Phones go in a box, until we're done. But I don't know. It's just, it's so sad.
Are you finding these days are more busy with paranormal inquiries, paranormal investigations, and paranormal tours?
Yeah, I do. It's interesting because it seems that as we go on, there's more of an interest and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think in the last 20 years, I don't know exactly the time, but I would say within the last 20 years, it's really skyrocketed in terms of people's interest. They're not as scared by it necessarily. It's not as taboo. More people are wanting to share their stories and learn about it. But yet at the same time, the way that some social media treats it, or, the entertainment industry, it's giving people that want to learn about it maybe a misconstrued ideology about it, so it's I could go on and on and on, but it's just, that's why I say, when you go, especially at these like sites that have been investigated for years and are so popular, you have to go in there and sift through what is authentically paranormal without us influencing it versus what all these teams have maybe caused, like false haunts and things like that. So
I often wonder why spirits stick around these places that are, so popular, like the Waverly and other locations. And of course, the paratourism industry is kicking up, and places that were not charging before for investigations are now charging. And I understand everybody has to make a living, but you don't have to soak the people who brought you to the point where your location is now on a tour map.
Right.
Yeah. You and I have to take our first break, Nicole. Thanks very much for joining us, and it's always a great pleasure talking to you. And Exo Nation, we're going to be talking about the paranormal. We're going to be talking about methodologies concerning the paranormal, standards, and much more. Nicole Strickland is my very special guest, and if you'd like to find out more about Nicole, visit her website, NicoleStrickland.com. This is the X Zone. I am Rob McConnell, and we're coming to you around the world on the CanCom Broadcast Network, www.canconbroadcastnetwork.ca. Whatever you do, don't go away. We'll be right back. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to play a song that I wrote called "Do the Right Thing." It's a tribute to Nancy Guthrie on our way back from this break.
Dance and dreams take flight through the veil of reality into the night. Rob McConnell leads the way, a beacon so bright. With over 35 years, he ignites the light. A voice from the north where whispers are bold, stories untold in the echo.
if you see the truth, you can be the reason she comes home soon. Do the right thing, pick up the phone. No one deserves to be alone. $1 million won't replace the love that lives in Nancy's place. Her family's breaking every day, still believing, still they pray. You hold the key, don't look away. Do the right thing today.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the X Zone. I'm Rob McConnell. My guest this hour is Nicole Strickland. And if you know anything about Nancy Guthrie's whereabouts, please call the FBI or your local law enforcement agency. If she's out there, we owe it to Nancy's family, to Savannah and her brother and sister. As fellow human beings on this little blue planet, and as Nicole was saying, that the photos that were taken from the Artemis spacecraft really puts the Earth in a perspective that when you look at it, and it's in the middle of the blackness of space. You know, we're down here on this planet and we think, wow, how big it is. But from outer space, the planet is put into its perspective. So please, number one, let's be part of the solution to problems instead of the cause. And number two, if you know anything about the whereabouts of Nancy Guthrie, no matter how small you think that the information you have may be, please call the FBI or your local law enforcement agency. Her family needs closure. We need to find Nancy. Once again, please call the FBI. Nicole, how did you get into the world of the paranormal?
I'm going to answer that in just a second, but I want to say, kind of go off of what you just said. You know, studying the paranormal is a way of connecting with people and really understanding the meaning of life. You know, you're researching life after death and the people that have walked the lands before us. And it's such a rewarding and honorable thing to do. And I think that's one of the reasons I love to do it, is because you do tap into that collective consciousness. And if you do it right, ego on the shelf, it's a very humbling, passionate sort of, it's not a thing. It's not a hobby. It's just a way of life, I guess, for me. Yeah. But getting into the paranormal, yeah, I've always been, I just bumped my mic. I've always been interested in it ever since a young girl, even as far back as I can remember. I had experiences that I couldn't explain. But I've always, as a young girl, I've been told I'm an old soul. I kind of feel that. I can see how that fits. But just I've been interested in history. I've always been sensitive to it, you know, and some people are more tapped into it than others, but that sensitivity and just with my own experiences, it stayed with me. And, you know, here we are today. So.
Here we are today.
Yeah.
Has the methodology of investigating the paranormal changed in recent years with the advent of new technology?
I think the methodologies themselves, like in the way you should do it, like approach an EVP session or you know, setting up cameras, whatever, is pretty much similar, but yet it's different because of the different types of technology. And then, of course, if you bring AI into it as well. But I think more so what's changing is not necessarily the methodologies themselves, although there's different approaches to them, different equipment, like I said, but it's the intent that people have, or maybe their motivations for wanting to get into the field, especially with the younger generation that's coming in. Because it's already tainted for them. And I hate to say that, it sounds so negative, but it's already tainted in a way because they're coming in and maybe they're believing urban legends or they're believing false haunts or things like that. And so they're already set up for having to sift through what is appropriate versus not and what have you. So I'm not really making sense, but
You really are. You really are.
I really
And
feel like I'm not.
no, you made perfect sense. But isn't there any standards that are established between all the different
There
paranormal
should
groups
be.
and researchers? I know my good friend
Should
Larry
be.
Lawson, who is the founder of the Florida Bureau of Paranormal Investigation, and he's a former police officer and a police detective.
Oh,
He
fantastic.
tried very hard to get standards, and he wrote a course, and he was poo-pooed for trying to do that.
Oh, I don't know why. I
Yeah.
applaud him for trying
Yeah.
to do that.
People
And I
don't.
think, oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. People just don't want to share the information. Everybody wants to have that smoking gun so they can get their own TV series. And if they only knew, it doesn't work like that.
No, and see, that's the problem. If you're motivated by fame or the desire to be famous or what have you, then there's no business really for
Yeah.
you being in this field. So, and I think people might think of, regulations and all of that as they might get negative about it because they think that it might affect how they approach something. No, that's not what you can still apply your own creativity and your own ways of doing things, but there should be standards, just as there are with medical
Right.
law, all of it. There's standards, and I think that should definitely be adopted. Absolutely.
Larry and
I commend him. I
well,
commend him
he-
100%.
He's a great guy and a good close personal friend of mine. And we started working on a database where different groups and organizations could put photos of their investigations, EVPs, case files that could be shared with other investigators.
Oh, right.
And it was, no, we don't want to do that.
That's
We
just
don't
too
share the
bad.
information because it's kind of ours. Okay,
But really, is it though? Because you don't own a spirit, you don't own a ghost, you don't own history. It's there for everyone to learn from. So but see, there's that egotistical, selfish sort of mentality. It just does not blend in with the work that we do.
I believe that there are those who do it for the right reason and those who don't, and those are the people who have fame and fortune in their eyes instead of the real reason why you go out and do an investigation into the paranormal.
Oh yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out why they call it ghost hunting. Because the ghost is the spirit of a person who's dead. So what are you going to do? Kill the ghost? It's not going to work.
Yeah, I've never ascribed to that too. And it's interesting. I talk about this in presentations I do. There's actually a slide. Oh gosh, what's the slide? It's like the ghost hunter. And let me preface this by saying that I know really good investigators that have the name such and such ghost hunters. They're wonderful investigators. So I'm not really talking about the name of your team. I'm talking about the mentality of it. And the psychology behind it. There's like this ghost hunter thrill-seeking mentality versus what is needed to really conduct a full paranormal investigation or case study.
How many people do you think that actually get into the research of paranormal or do it for the thrill factor?
I think many do. It's hard to put a number on that. I think many do, but yet at the same time, I know so many people across the United States and even abroad that really do take it serious. So, but it's the I can't really say young, but if it's people that are fanning over a lot of these YouTubers that go into these haunted sites, probably unannounced and without permission half the time, and they make it out to be like just nothing but a horror movie. That's what I'm saying. That's what the younger generation is exposed to.
Shock and awe.
Yeah, right. And it's, I'm not saying you can't have fun while investigating. There has to be some, fun to it and entertainment to it. But yet, this is why I wish it could be more of an academic sort of route as opposed to like sensation all the time.
I can't get over these investigators who yell and curse at the spirits to get them riled.
Oh my gosh. No,
That's not showing respect for the dead
No.
or spirits. Why, in your opinion, do some spirits stay behind and others leave and go to the light?
That's a good question. I think about this a lot. Obviously, I don't think us mortals are permitted to know the answers. I think it could be, you could have 100 different energies and they all have a different reason. Of course, in those that are imprints, of course, that's different because there's really no intelligence. But for those energies that have some sort of thinking process and intelligence, like you talking to me or me talking to you, sometimes it could be by choice, other times it may not be, but it could be very personal. It's really hard to know why. Really, it's
One of the very many mysteries that people
yeah.
like yourself and organizations like yours, seek to find the answer. And I've got about 40 seconds before we have to go to our break. How close do you think we are to getting that unequivocal proof? That
I think we're closer, but not where we need to be. And we can talk more about that after the break.
I'd love to. And,
yeah, closer. I think we're closer, but I don't know if we'll ever get there.
maybe we're not meant to find the answer.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. Yeah, that could be it.
Stand by, my good friend. You and I have to take our break. And Exo Nation, Nicole Strickland is our special guest. And if you'd like to find out more about Nicole and all the great work she does, maybe you're going down to Long Beach, California, and you'd like to take one of her tours, just visit her online at www.nicolestrickland.com. That's NicoleStrickland.com. I'm Rob McConnell. This is the X Zone, and we're coming to you on the CanCom. I'm sorry, why do I call it CanCon? CanCom Broadcast Network. www.cancombroadcastnetwork.ca, and we're bringing stream to you tonight on your hometown radio, Classic 1220 CFAJ, right here in St. Catharines, Ontario.
Somewhere out there, a light's gone dim. A chair sits empty.
Blue light glow in a darkened room, a silent house, digital doom. Little eyes locked on a screen, living life through a machine. Mom and dad in the same old place, scrolling worlds but no embrace. Dinner's cold, no words are said. Another night, the silence spreads. We built a cage, then blamed the bars, pointing fingers at the stars. But truth don't hide behind a screen. It lives in what we've never seen. No praise is a child, no screen shows love, no algorithm sent from above. You can't outsource a heart, can't download a soul. When the damage is done, who's in control? No praise is a child, no feed makes a home, no signal replaces flesh and bone. So before you point blame out into the wild, look in the mirror. No praise is a child.
Nicole Strickland is my special guest this hour, Exo Nation, www.nicolestrickland.com. You know, before the break, you and I had just started a topic, and you wanted to wait until after the break because I'm sure that we can get deep into it. So go right ahead.
Oh yeah, I've what you said. I've often wondered, is the reason why we don't have that definitive proof, actually black and white proof, is it because as mortals we're not permitted? I think we're permitted, and I could be completely wrong on this, but I'm wondering if we're permitted to get glimpses of it as we've been getting. but just not permitted to know the actual equation that solves this, puzzle. I don't know.
I don't think there's any right or any wrong when investigating the paranormal. When you do an investigation legitimately, when you know what you're doing, when you go and you get the proper permissions from the owners of the property instead of trespassing.
Oh God, I know.
There's so much that I believe can still be accomplished if it is done right. Like I know your group, I know you, and everything is done by the book. Same thing with Larry, and I can name you off 50, 60 groups that I've had the pleasure of working with and talking to and learning to get to know over the last 35 years.
Fantastic.
Yeah. But still, you need that desire to legitimately try and discover what is the connection. Why does this happen? How does this happen? And what is the reason it's happening? Like, there's always a cause and effect. And when it comes to the paranormal, whether you're investigating the apparitions in a location, or even like you do on the Queen Mary.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that ship, it's like a time capsule where you almost have past and present and even future, arguably, blending together. Infusing together. It's just time is an interesting phenomenon too.
The spirits and the entities that are on the Queen Mary now, were they the same in other locations where the ship had been docked?
That's a good question. I have still been searching as to when the first report was, and so we may never find that because maybe someone building the ship in Scotland had an experience, but yet that person is obviously now not with us, and so we may never know. But it's hard to know, because a lot of these experiences people have when the ship is retired now in Long Beach, and so they're experiencing these energies as they were maybe in the 30s or the 40s or 50s or 60s. So, but it's hard to know if the way they come through is exactly how they were when they were alive. I would like to think yes, because I would like to think they are, because that's just how they are as people, and so we might be touching into an experience that they had live, let's say in the 30s, but yet we're all these years later just having it. So I'm not making myself clear. I'm crazy tonight, but hopefully that was somewhat understandable.
It was. And I've often wondered if the clothing that the spirits wear, do they change?
That's interesting too.
Yeah.
I've never actually, I could be wrong, but I don't like to overly classify certain energies and put them into these boxes, so to speak. But yet we have a need for that to just try to, for understanding purposes. But I've never really ascribed to the idea that energies are stuck in one place. I mean, maybe in some cases, yes, maybe with imprints and so forth. But, I have heard stories, not necessarily from the Queen Mary, people seeing different apparitions, but yet they look the same, like facial features, but yet their clothing is different. But again, could that be how we're perceiving it? So let's say 10 people saw the same apparition. Is it that the apparition is changing the attire, or is it that it's our perceptions are different in how we see them?
I was just wondering that, because if there's the identity of a passenger that has been made, when that passenger is seen by different people, is the passenger. His physicality may be the same, but does the clothing change? I was just trying to understand if there is more to the phenomenon than we actually think that there is.
Oh, I think so. I think it's way more intricate. I think it's, and it makes it like an enigma in many ways.
Down here in Niagara Falls, there is the apparition of a horse pulling a carriage. There's the driver of the
wow.
carriage, and there's two people that are sitting inside the carriage. And of course, these are all spirits. My question that nobody's been able to give me any kind of answer to is, well, okay, I can understand the source, the horse, I should say, because it was living. I can understand the driver and the two people inside the coach because they were living. How is there, or how can there be a ghost of a carriage, a non-living entity?
See, that's the getting into like inanimate objects, and I what comes to me is it the energy of the living entities that are giving meaning to these inanimate objects. So,
Right.
like, the horse is pulling the carriage, the people are sitting in it. The carriage is part of that snippet of time, and that's what enables us. Enables us to see it and apply meaning to it. I'm wondering if it's reason. That's why. In other words, if let's say the carriage were just without the horse and without the people, would we see the carriage? Maybe not. So is it the human life and the human energy playing into that story? Is that why we're able to see these inanimate, like ghost ships and things like that?
Or is it that there has been some sort of picture that has been taken and remains in time?
That too.
Yeah.
It could be. Yeah.
So many
Or like
questions.
imprints.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. It's like when I think I've answered, which I never do, but when I think I'm onto something, like 500 other questions arise because it's and that's what keeps me going with this field. It's just so fascinating.
What, in your opinion, is how the soul survives death?
How it does it?
Yes.
I don't know how it does. I believe that it does. I've always believed in that, just with my own experiences and just reading up on it and really researching near-death experiences and just the concept of the soul. There's different thoughts of what the soul is. Is it separate from the brain? Is it part of the brain? Things like that. But how it does, I think, is the mystery. It's almost like it's this, how I look at it, it's like an eternal flame, and it's existed long before the different lives that it's experienced. So it's like this eternal living being, and we all have it. I think there's an individual soul, but yet there's that collective soul too. It's almost like when you think of a tree, and the branches are like the individual souls, but it's all belonging to the same tree. But how it does, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I my own personal belief is that what is known as Rob McConnell or Nicole Strickland in our physical body is basically a meat suit.
Yeah, you can absolutely.
And when the meat suit ceases to exist, the life force or the spirit or the soul escapes.
Yes.
Like, okay, this is finished. Let's go on to bigger and better things. Where, in your opinion, does reincarnation come in?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's another one because it could be so individual. You could have 20 souls, if you will, all experiencing some form of reincarnation, but they may happen at different times and in different stages. But reincarnation's an interesting thing. It's very similar to almost maybe past lives in a way where, people, once they're reincarnated, they remember something of their past life. But yeah, it's, I think it's just so individual as to when it happens. And I don't think everyone or every soul reincarnates either. Maybe they do, but I don't know on that.
There are so many theories out now where there's multi-universes,
Oh yeah.
multi-dimensions, multi-frequencies, and the list goes on and on and on. These are exciting times.
Oh
So if
yeah.
anybody wants to play detective, become a paranormal investigator, a
Oh,
paranormal researcher.
absolutely. That's why I love
Yeah.
studying life after death. And getting into things like dream visitations and synchronicity and all, and how that all plays in.
Let's talk more about this on the other side of this final break.
Got it.
Exonation, our guest this hour is Nicole Strickland. Her website is nicolestrickland.com. And we'll be back as we wrap up this segment, wrapping up this hour here in the X Zone with yours truly, Rob McConnell, on the CanCom Broadcast Network. And we're streaming on Classic 1220 CFAJ AM. Their website to listen to a stream is classic1220.ca.
No embrace. Dinner's cold, no words are said. Another night, the silence spreads. We built the cage, then blamed the bars, pointing fingers at the stars. But truth don't hide behind a screen. It lives in what we've never seen. No praise is a child, no screen shows love, no algorithm sent from above. You can't outsource a heart, can't download a soul. When the damage is done, who's in control? No praise is a child, no feed makes a home, no signal replaces flesh and bone. So before you point blame out into the wild.
When the night feels heavy and the answers won't come, when your heart's out searching but you're feeling undone, there's a voice in the silence calling out your name, reading stars in the heavens, lighting up your flame. She sees the patterns past and present too, a cosmic map that leads you back to you. Ask Holly, oh, she'll read your soul tonight. Through the stars, she'll bring your truth to light. From the past to the future, every rise and fall, find your path. Just ask Holly Hall.
Nicole Strickland is my guest of this hour, www.nicolestrickland.com. First of all, Nicole, as always, thanks very much for coming on the show. It's great always talking to you. And where did we leave off before we went to the break?
Oh, I think we were talking. Oh, I mentioned synchronicity and
Yep.
dream visitation. Something. Yeah, I think that's what I said.
Do you believe in dream visitations?
I do, especially because I've had them now with my cat, Kaylee, who passed in December 19th of 2021. I've had about 28 very identical dream what I would consider dream visitations, not just regular subconscious dreams. And they're different in the sense that they commence in a similar way. The surroundings match exactly how I am when I'm asleep. So I'm in my bed, it's in my room, the lighting's the same. So I'm thinking that maybe I slightly astral project out a little bit, and then Kaylee meets me kind of, and we meet in the middle, so to speak. But it's just so interesting because I had one the other night, and it's an interesting state because when it happens, it feels that I'm awake, but I'm not, right? But I'll say to myself, it's happening again. And then it usually starts with hearing her and feeling the footprints, coming up on my bed.
Yeah.
And then it progresses to where I'm seeing her walking around the bed. I'm able to sometimes pick her up. connect with her that way, hear her meows, feel her purring, things of that nature. And one of the most recent ones I had, it was interesting because while in the visitation, at the foot of my bed, there was this beach ball sized orb of light that appeared, and it was kind of swirling, and it kind of had these jagged, not real jagged, but swirling edges. And it was very bright, very, very bright, almost like a yellow, whitish color to it. So while I was laying down in the visitation, Kaylee was on my chest. And so when this light appeared, it made her look black because she was silhouetted, against the light. She then noticed it. I saw her head turn toward it. Then she got up on all of her four legs and propelled right through that orb of light.
Unreal.
And I woke up. So I have two theories on this.
Okay.
Did I visualize the portal that she comes through? Is that orb of lights, the energy, the bridge that she used to come through? Or did I witness her maybe ascend? And as we all say, go into the light. I don't know. It's hard to know, but I think that area, the foot of my bed, is where she usually does appear when she comes in the visitation. So I think I'm leaning more toward that's the portal that she uses.
Fascinating.
But talking about them does not do any justice whatsoever. These are just phenomenal. I've never had any types of dream visitations prior to this.
Dreams are wonderful. As you remember, I fell off a roof a couple of years ago, and
Right.
I kind of really messed up the right-hand side of my body, my leg and my hip and my foot. And when I dream, I can walk without my cane. I can run. There's no pain whatsoever. And yet everything is so vivid.
Right.
I remember having a guest on the show years ago who said that what you and I believe is reality is our dream world, and what we dream is reality.
Yes.
Wow.
I know what you mean. I've often thought that too.
Amazing. Truly amazing. And there's also people who talk about those who have departed coming to see them in their dreams.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And getting lessons in their dreams, solving problems in their dreams.
Absolutely. I think we're less inhibited, of course, and it's easier to meet in the middle, so to speak. Yeah, it's just such an interesting phenomenon. Synchronicity too. I think dream visitations and synchronicity are two very powerful gateways to really connecting with the other side.
What kind of synchronicities have you had?
A lot with music. So there's so many that I could share. But one I can share, I was 13 when my mom's dad, so my maternal grandpa, who was a doctor here in San Diego, an ice skater, played the violin. So just a very accomplished individual. Yeah. And he sadly got Alzheimer's. And so I was 13 when he passed. So we were on the way to Greenwood Mortuary for his military funeral. He served as a lieutenant commander, I believe, in World War II, medical officer in World War II on the, USS Ormsby. And so we had, I think, a police escort going down the freeway, and the song Unchained Melody came on. And so ever since his funeral, throughout the years, that song will come on at random, usually when I'm thinking about him. So that's a small example of synchronicity, but it's things like that.
In your opinion, Nicole, what's the difference between a coincidence and synchronicity?
I think with synchronicity, it actually was coined by Carl Jung. So it's almost two experiences that shouldn't be connected, but yet there seems to be this sort of connection. I think with synchronicities, there's a message that has to be imparted, whereas maybe a coincidence, there isn't necessarily a learning or an educative sort of message. Whereas synchronicity, I think, when it concerns connecting with departed loved ones or even animals, there's a message or some sort of healing that is involved, as opposed to just a random coincidence.
What are some of the current projects that you're working on, Nicole? Because time is flying by
Oh
here so
yeah,
fast.
real
Yeah.
quickly. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of presentations at libraries and so forth. I have about like 18 different types of presentations. You can find those on my website.
What's your favorite presentation?
Ooh, I don't know. They're all so
Really?
fun. Yeah, they're all so fun. I like them all. I'm working on another 4th book about the Queen Mary. Very, very extensive. So I'm working on that, and just doing some interviews, podcast interviews, YouTube channel interviews, and so forth. So, yeah.
Taking a look at all the different aspects of the paranormal that you have investigated over the years, what is your favorite part of the paranormal? Is it ghost? Is it extraterrestrials? Is it Bigfoot? Psychic phenomena?
I think they're all so important and they all serve a purpose. But for me, it's the spirit communication. It's the connecting with, that life after death connection that we have. And of course, the adjunct research that goes into it. So the historical research, the, archaeological, genealogical, what have you. But it's connecting and making connection with the other side.
It seems that true paranormal researchers like yourself are also historians.
Yeah, oh yeah. How can you not be? It's like I said, I was just on a panel, Ghost Education 101, put on by Dr. Heather Lee and her co-host. It's so important. You can't have history without the paranormal. They're so intertwined. You can't separate it. So.
And every culture that I'm aware of in the world has paranormal somewhere in it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So what's, I've got about 2 minutes left. So what are you going to be doing in the future? How can our listeners, come and listen to you or get your books?
Yeah, so my books are mostly, on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. My Queen Mary books, as well as the Afterlife Chronicles, is actually sold on board the ship. I'll be spending 4 days there next May to celebrate her 90th maiden voyage anniversary.
90 already.
90th, yeah. So May 27th, 1936. So I'll be doing a book signing on the ship on May 27th, which is fun. And then we're just throwing a party. We're going to have like dinner in the veranda grill, and it's going to be a really fun celebration. Let's see. I'm on social media, Facebook, Instagram, author Nicole Strickland. My website, NicoleDStrickland.com. There's stuff on there as well. So
Nicole,
I'm around.
Do you mean I've been giving out the wrong website address?
Have you?
I'm just checking that out now.
Oh, I don't know.
You know what? I've been giving out NicoleStrickland.com.
I didn't even realize that.
My apologies.
I know there has to be a D. I had to put a D in there to confuse you all, didn't I?
Well, you did a good job with me tonight. Thank you very much, old friend.
I don't care.
What is your final message that you'd like to share with the X Zone Nation tonight? I mean, besides getting me to give out the right website.
Oh, my gosh. You know what? Love yourself, follow your passions, follow your heart, and, pay it forward. Do something nice for someone.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. And I would just like to add that whenever you're out there doing a paranormal investigation, be respectful.
Yes.
Be respectful of the property that you're on. Be respectful of the spirit that you're trying to connect with. And be respectful with the other members of your team.
Oh, yes. Well said.
Nicole, take care of yourself, my dear friend. Always great pleasure talking to you, and I look forward to the next time you and I meet and greet here in the X Zone.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for having me.
Always a great pleasure. Good night, Nicole. And X Zone Nation, if you'd like to get more information about Nicole Strickland, her website is NicoleDStrickland.com. I'll be back on the other side of this break as the X-Zone continues with yours truly, Rob McConnell, from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, on the CanCom Broadcast Network. Whatever you do, don't go away, because we'll be right back after these short words from people, who pay our bills.
Yeah, right.
I'll be back.
You have another show after this?
I certainly do.
Okay, I better let you go.
Take care of yourself, dear. Bye-bye.
You too. All right. Bye-bye.